Hi, my name is Christopher Morris. I'll be doing my presentation on teams today. I felt like this was a really relevant chapter because the work that I do, it entirely revolves around teamwork. It's never a solo thing. You do your work individually, obviously, but everything is for one common goal, and they pound synergy into our heads to let you know that your part's important, but the end result, the whole product is what counts. But my own definition of teams, and even loosely what's out the book, is that you have a group of people who do have complementary skills, but also have complementary personalities. People who work well together, people who communicate well. Some of that takes time, and sometimes it's just something that clicks. I work in the tech industry, so a lot of us are kind of similar. We're the nerds, and especially in the team that I'm on, we're kind of the nerds of the nerds because we have to troubleshoot so many different things. We're jacks of all trades, but for a good team to really function and really be able to accomplish that main goal, that common goal, is that you have to have good communication. You have to be able to speak to one another, and you also have to know what your role is. There's the old phrase that everybody wants to be the chief. All these Indians want to be chiefs, and you have to realize that at the end of the day, just as it's stated in the book, is that whether the project succeeds or it fails doesn't solely fall on the leader. The leader's a very important part of that, but ultimately everyone has to pull their weight. Everyone has to come together, and then it also works. I guess I wouldn't say like it's a two-edged sword, but it's also one of those things that if you have somebody that really isn't producing, whether it's because they might not get it or they're having a hard time, you got to remember that you can't be any better than that person who isn't getting what's going on and can't contribute. So everyone has to be able to recognize who has certain strengths, who has certain weaknesses. Like in my work, I do a lot of hands-on troubleshooting, whether it's configuring computers, whether it's configuring phones, whether it's checking alerts on servers or whatever have you. It changes every single day, and so I get to do a lot of different things, but never really get to master one thing. But I know, because I'll use me as an example, because I don't like to talk about anybody else. But in my job, I'm not very good at coding, or I'm not very proficient on the command line. And the command line being when we pull up the prompt in the computer and you actually give it commands to execute certain programs. And there's people on my team that are very good at it. So whenever I come across something like that I'm a little bit unsure about, I go reach out to the guys that are actually really really good at it, and then vice versa. Like I'm really good at network protocol. So if someone has an issue, they'll be like, hey, what do you think about this? Let me know, and then I'll let them know, and then we work together. Even if it's not necessarily a project that I was working on myself, but they were working on, they needed help with, because I know if they can't finish up what they're doing and we can't keep it going, then eventually it's going to become the team's issue. And you have to be able to understand the idea that your issue is the team's issue. The team's issue is your issue. And if you think about it like, yeah, it's a team, but we're all one unit, kind of like the Spartan aspect, Spartan theory is, you want to be one single impenetrable unit. You want to be able to all be together and work together to achieve that goal. But I kind of explained some of the things that I do, that the roles I think I play on a team, and I want to go a little bit more in depth, I guess, about the different kind of teams there can be, just from my place of employment. And it's like I said, we have a network of teams, so we'll encounter different groups of teams every day, and then we have people we call them closers, or we call them our escalation team. The people who handle the things that are a little bit out of our grasp, are the people that handle things that they're just better suited for. And then you have the technical team, such as like myself, like what I'm on, and we encounter the issues first, and troubleshoot the best that we can, and go from there. But in order for a team to really come together and really get what you're trying to get accomplished, is that everyone's got to be able to set their own differences aside, set whatever, whatever might be holding them back, and realize that you are part of that team. The team ultimately needs you, and you need the team. And once you get that concept down, that you're just not one person, but you're many, I think that will make the whole practice and application smoother. And it's ultimately what makes a good team a team. Thank you all for listening. I hope you all have a good afternoon.